know what e-waste is? No. I have no idea what e-waste is. Okay. Stop it there.
Do you know where the United States e-waste ends up in? No.
E-waste?
Yeah.
I don't know what e-waste is.
So-
Do you guys know what e-waste is?
E-what?
E-waste.
E-waste.
Yeah. How about what the things you guys think goes under e-waste? What do you guys
E-waste.
I'll give you suggestions because I have no idea.
E-waste is a global phenomenon due to the accumulation of broken, used, or outdated electronics thrown away by first world countries. Most of the waste ends up in Guizhou province, which hosts the largest recycling plants in the world. Located in southeast China, these recycling plants produce toxic particles that are then blown into the surrounding area, which home more than 45 million citizens. In these toxic particles, e-waste enters soil crop foodways, giving way for heavy metal exposures to humans. Each year, 40 million metric tons of e-waste is produced by the world, and only 13% of that is recycled. In the year 2000, 1,790,000 tons of e-waste was trashed in America. In that year, the total disposal of e-waste accumulated to 2,440,000 tons, and only 649,000 tons of e-waste is recycled. That only accounts for 13% of the total. Recycling is not an easy process. During my research, I came across a local company called Free Geek, which specializes in recycling e-waste. The interview went as followed. What are your first steps when dealing with a donated device?
You know, our first goal is to reuse it if possible and refurbish it and get it back out to the community in a few different ways. So we also, one of those ways is hardware grants. Mm-hmm. So local nonprofits, churches, schools, and social change agencies can write to us, and we have on our website we have a section that says Get, and it's talks about the hardware grants and who's eligible, and you can fill out a form and ask for computers, and we give them
awesome.
away. So yeah,
So what is Free Geek's focus when recycling?
How did this company come to start?
history. So we started in about 2000, year 2000. A gentleman named Oso had an idea about repurposing computers, and he started it in his garage, and he basically just fixed people's computers that were, they thought they were old or not working, and put Linux, which is free and open source software, onto them, and was able to get them out to some people that needed them in a very, very tiny scale.
Okay.
And then we opened up our doors to this building on Earth Day, I believe, of 2000.
Oh,
and
nice.
we've just grown and grown since then. So.
What are some of the things that you look to recycle?
Different kinds of cable. There's ribbon cable, there's thin wire cable, there's a box for kind of a mixture. It's called copper bearing materials, but it's basically a mixture of metal and plastic. There's e-plastic, which is it has like the little numbers for different types of recycling on the plastic. So we don't actually recycle the materials here. We break them down to their simplest components and ship them to recycling vendors, or actually the vendors come and pick up big boxes of them.
What is the basic recycling process after you received a donation?
Kind of overall, we get somewhere between 70 and 125 donations a day. All of those donations get put on a cart, they get tallied, we give people a tax receipt showing what they've donated. Their stuff will go back to the warehouse, they'll go to sorting, which is an area volunteers are trained to sort. We have about 40-something different boxes where the stuff will initially get sorted to. Some stuff we'll have go to the thrift store, we'll have go to advanced testing, where people will test and see if it works. And then we have different types of metal, magnetic metals, magnetic metals, e-plastic, different kinds of plastic. So we have these different boxes in the sort area where volunteers would kind of like disperse those different donations. And then there's a couple of different areas where volunteers are actually disassembling either systems or smaller stuff like keyboards. And
What happens to the e-waste that you can't recycle?
there are not many devices that can't be recycled. There are some items that we don't take because they're too hazardous for us to safely recycle, or really expensive for us to recycle. And we have a list of other recyclers locally that we give out to folks that bring things like styrofoam, alkaline batteries, fluorescent light bulbs, larger appliances like washer, dryer, that kind of thing. So we have a whole list of other places in the city of Portland that will take those things. So there is not much out there that you can't recycle.
So there you have it. Next time you think about throwing away your old foam, recycle it. It'll go to a good cause.